Right, who am I? I'm Jimmy. I'm a survivor of child sex abuse, and due to that I have a lot of mental health issues. It took me, I'll go back to my teenage years. I always wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to be a soldier from a very, very young age. And that led me to join a cadet force, and the guy in charge of that was a paedophile. He groomed me at 14, and then when I left at 16, I ended up working for somebody who was also a paedophile, and he abused me for quite a number of years. I ended up going down a very dangerous route. I was involved in drugs, I was using alcohol, I was using fighting. I had a lot of anger inside me that I just couldn't get out. And that went on for a long number of years. And then once I reached my 20s, the drugs started to phase out a bit, but the alcohol was still carrying on. And it wasn't until I was about 2010, 2010 when I finally reported it. Went to West Yorkshire Police. They were absolutely fantastic. During the following investigation on the first paedophile, they found another 4 victims. So we finally went to Bradford Crown Court. He got 8 years. The second one was never convicted, but that's another story. As I left court, because we were quite famous, the TV cameras were waiting for us. And as I left, the TV cameras chased us. And as I got to the car park, I said to my partner at the time, I said, I've had enough of running from this. I've run from this for so many years. And I stopped and I turned around and I walked up to TV cameras and I waved my right to anonymity, and I managed to get that out because I can never pronounce that right. And I waved my right and gave an interview. And from that, it sort of lit a fire inside me and I wanted to do more. So I I co-founded an online support page on Facebook. And from that, I told my story, posts, supported people, not just nationally, but internationally, listened to their stories. And up to press, there were 3 people saw my story and went to report their own, and 3 paedophiles went to prison. Now that wouldn't have happened if they hadn't seen my story. So that's how powerful stories can be, how powerful your life story can be. And from that, I did that for a couple of years, and then we branched out into peer support, which men's mental health. And from that, we appeared on TV twice more, talking about men's mental health and my abuse story and what have you. And then I left and I joined a local organisation called Missing Peace, Wellbeing and Support. And from there, I run 2 peer support groups. I run one for abuse survivors, so they've got somewhere where they can come. They don't have to tell a story. You don't have to tell your story to be part of our book. It's just knowing you're in a room with other people who've been in your shoes. So it works. And I also run a men's mental health peer support group, and it works. And from that, it's going back to outside court, I got a choice. And that's what today's all about. It's a life choice. And I chose that day to actually start living. So my life began that day when I left court. And it was the best decision I ever made. It's like now, if I hadn't chose that day to talk outside court, there's no way I'd be stood here now doing a TEDx. So sometimes the worst things can happen to you, but you can make it into a positive. And that's about it, to be honest. I knew it wouldn't take long, because, sometimes that's just how it is. But it's a good journey I've been on. Negatives can last a lifetime. My mental health issues will last a lifetime. But I choose to walk at the side of it rather than let it consume me. So that's life. So anyway, that's about it, to be honest. I can't think of what else, so. Thank you.